Welcome, everyone. I would like to call this Ways and Means Committee meeting on December 5th at 4:00 p.m. to order. May we have roll call, please?
Benajak,
Present.
Radke,
Here.
Nemec,
Here.
Millet,
Here.
Herrick,
Here.
Boyer,
Present.
Begic,
Here.
quorum present.
Thank you. Everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You said it the right way.
Is there any changes to the agenda? Seeing none, any approval for the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Support?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, seeing none, motion carries. The minutes of 11/7/2023.
So moved.
Support?
Any corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, seeing none, motion carries. At this time, this is for public input. Is there anyone who wishes to address this committee? Please come forward, write your name and address, and you would like to have 5 minutes? If you could. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura Ogar, Director of Environmental Affairs and Community Development. I just wanted to share a housekeeping issue regarding the Linwood Scenic Access Site. A year ago, almost exactly to the day, in this chamber, the Board of Commissioners approved the authorization of the expenditure for $110,000 for the Linwood Access Site. I think you've all heard of that and you remember that. There was a housekeeping error on my part that I made on this resolution. In the resolved, it says that it would include, the money is for the outdoor recreation features, including a picnic area, a fishing platform, kayak launch, and waterfront viewing. I should have actually stipulated that it includes a seawall and a green space as well. That's important. Because it wasn't clearly identified in this resolution, I am moving it forward to the board. It's a housekeeping issue. It didn't make it on this Ways and Means agenda, but you will see this next week. I want you to know it has not been changed at all, except for the addition of those few words. Some of the numbers are even out of date, but we didn't want to go through the whole process all over again. It's just a simple housekeeping issue, and you'll see it next week for your recertification of this resolution.
Okay.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Is there anyone else that would like to address this committee? Going once? Going twice? Public input is closed. Petitions and Communications. We have a presentation from Mark Rankin for the Michigan State University Extension. I would like to see if you have 15 minutes or less for the presentation.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to present this afternoon and share a little bit about MSU Extension. I'm going to give a large 30,000-foot overview first, just to give a foundation. Back in 1862, the Morrill Act was passed, which created agriculture colleges in the different states. In 1892, it was upgraded to include teaching functions for the land-grant universities. And then in 1914, the Smith-Lever Act was passed to create cooperative extension services associated with land-grant institutions in partnership with the USDA and Farm Bill to create outreach programs. MSU Extension is located in all 83 counties, and our mission is to improve lives through research-based educational programs, and that's what we do with the counties that we serve. In the spring, I actually presented our annual report, and I included this in your packet on the left-hand side. And the Anderson Economic Group every year takes a look at the economic impact of MSU Extension and MSU within the counties that we serve, as well as the amount of money that we spend within the counties. Anderson Economic Group for 2022 said the economic impact was $17,492,000. Local spending with local businesses within Bay County was $1,226,000. The way the funding works with MSU Extension is we ask for a partnership with the county, which we've had a partnership for over 120 years. For the last 6 years since I've been here, we received about $124,000 from the county. But then I leveraged the county dollars to bring in state and federal dollars. So through the Farm Bill, they allocate funding for MSU Extension, but the money that's allocated through the federal funding has to be matched with state funding. And with the local funding, we can tap into those resources. So for every dollar I get from the county, we bring in an additional $4 worth of services into Bay County. So even though I only get $124,000 worth of local funding, I bring an additional $400,000 worth of state and federal funding, which is really important. On the right-hand side of the packets that I passed out, there is an overview of the way MSU Extension is structured. I want to start out because I just had a brief conversation. I'm the District 9 Director. I actually serve Bay, Genesee, Midland, Saginaw, and Shiawassee County. My home base is in Saginaw County. However, I try and be in Bay County at least every other week. I try and be in Shiawassee and Midland every other week. And then I'm in Genesee and Saginaw at least once a week. However, my schedule is based on meetings. When I'm requested for a meeting, I make that a priority, so I'm in Bay County every time that I'm needed in Bay County. So anytime you guys would like to meet with me, or anytime that I need to present anything, I always make myself available because that's my priority. With that said, within MSU Extension, on the first page is our mission, and our mission is to improve people's lives through an educational process that applies knowledge to critical issues, needs, and opportunities. We also have our value statements. But MSU Extension is divided into 4 institutes. A lot of people think about MSU Extension and think about agriculture or 4-H, and that's a part of what we do. But under agriculture, we have 6 different work teams. Under Children and Youth Institute, that's where we have our 4-H programming, but we also have early childhood education programming as well as parenting programming. And then our Community Food Environment Institute is where we do community food systems, government and community vitality, government public policy, natural resources and stewardship, LeadNet, and Sea Grant. We have a Sea Grant agent that is housed here in Bay County. Many of you may have attended the new Commissioner School training, which is held in Frankenmuth and around the state. That is hosted and put on by MSU Extension. And then we also have our Health and Nutrition Institute. 3 work teams. We have health, food safety, as well as nutrition and physical activity. This includes our SNAP education, our veteran outreach for SNAP education, as well as FNEP programs. But then we do a lot of programs with our health and nutrition as well. After that, I listed each institute, the work teams, topics that we cover, as well as programs. And this is not designed to be all-inclusive, but to give you guys an overview. And if you take a look at health and nutrition, you can see the different work teams: disease self-management, diabetes, mental health stress, pain management, opioid misuse prevention, food safety, falls prevention, farm stress, as well as our SNAP, which is Supplemental Nutrition Program, as well as FNEP, which is our Expanded Food and Nutrition Program. I wanted to take a moment real quick and share that we provide services as requested. Recently in Midland County, or in Bay County, there was a suicide at a high school, which is tragic. The high school reached out and asked if we could do some programs. So we are actually providing some Your Thoughts Matter for 4 sections this fall, as well as 4 sections in the spring. And then we're doing assemblies and training for staff and students on mental health first aid for staff and students. Since the pandemic, anxiety, depression, and suicide is up over 100%. And so it's a real issue. And when tragedies occur, people reach out to MSU Extension asking for support. And once again, we step up to the plate and provide those services upon requests. The other thing that I included is Bay County MSU Extension programs and partnerships. Once again, this is not intended to be all-inclusive, but I went into our reporting system and just pulled out programs that we have currently provided to Bay County, and I wanted to give you guys an idea of some of the programs that we provide under each of our institutes, and also some of the partnerships that we have provided those programs for. So under Children and Youth Institute, you can see a plethora of different programs, as well as partnerships. And you can see that we work with the YMCA, we work with schools, we work with the Juvenile Center, we work with parochial schools, we work with home schools, Farm Bureau, Chamber of Commerce, we work with Genesis Credit Union. And so all of these programs are programs that are coordinated with our partners. With our agriculture and agribusiness, one of our biggest partnerships is with Michigan Sugar, which is here in Bay County. We do a lot of sugar beet research. We have 2.5 staff that works with Michigan Sugar on that project, but we also work with all the local farms as well, from vegetables to field crops to cows to all sorts of animals and agriculture type topics. Under our health and nutrition, you can see some of the Show Me Nutrition, My Plate, Cooking for One. Those are our SNAP and FNAP type programs. But you also can see Tai Chi, Sleep Series, Matter of Balance, Project Connect, Project Fresh, Farmers Market, Cooking for One, that are programs that are offered for citizens around Bay County. I've also included community, environment, and food systems. Our C grant does a lot with the Bay Reef Restoration Project, as well as the sturgeon release, as well as working with schools, as well as the greater Saginaw Bay watershed area. And then I also included our partnerships, and once again, this is not all-inclusive, but just to give you guys an idea of the types of partners that we work with within Bay County, and this is where a lot of the requests comes from for programs that we provide. MSU has over 200 programs that we can provide. Each county is a little bit different based on the needs of the county and the requests from the county and the partnerships within that county. So Bay County looks a little bit different than Midland. Both of you guys look a little bit different than Saginaw, and Flint looks totally different than all three of you. So it's really based on the partnerships and the requests that we receive, but our mission is to meet the needs of the residents and to improve lives through the programs that we have to offer. And so once again, a couple of things that I really want to highlight. For every $1 I get from you as county commissioners, I utilize that and leverage that to bring in an additional $4 of state and federal funding for all of these programs. So pretty much the money that I get from the county supports our office manager, our 4-H program, and our office downstairs. However, that money does not support all the other staff that are housed here in Bay County. And last year, we had over 19 staff come in and do educational programs in Bay County. Our CFE Institute actually had their spring conference here 2 years ago. This year, our CYI Institute had their conference here. And last year, we had our Bean and Beat Symposium here, which brought in over 500 participants. So once again, Bay County is important to us, and we value the partnership with Bay County, and we try and have that reciprocal relationship with you as county commissioners. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present. And once again, as always, if you guys would like to meet with me individually, I'd be happy to take you out for breakfast or lunch and share even more about all the great things MSU Extension does in Bay County. So, any questions?
Yeah, I just was looking through here, I didn't realize some of the things that you engage in, you know, like I never knew you did a CB program. And, you know, every time I think about the extension, a lot of people just think it's just farm stuff, you know, and there's so much more. You know, I'm glad you came, because as long as I've been here, I was enlightened quite a bit just in this, you know, 5-10 minute presentation you gave, because I didn't know all the things that you were like doing and with other people, and even the partnerships you have. It's all very important, because I mean, you're really a community-minded organization, yes. And that's exactly what we always look for. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm interested in the pain management and opioid misuse prevention. We have some money coming in for that, so I'd be interested to talk to you to see. I don't think we included you when we had that public forum a while back, and I didn't realize you did that type of work, so there might be some money available for you for some of these programs. So we'll get together later and talk about that.
Great, I would
Thank you.
welcome that, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Move to receive.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Excuse me. The MSU Extension Agreement for Services.
I'll move it. Support.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Bay County Clerk, CivicPlus contract.
So moved.
Support.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. The Bay County Sheriff, Supplemental Actuarial Valuation.
I'll move it. Support.
Is there any discussion on this? Yes.
Call them up.
Sheriff, I know you've told me before, but, so maybe we won't ever have to do this again. Why don't you kind of give a quick thing of why, what happened, and why we need this?
The easiest way, I guess, to say it is just our top positions, when we get somebody that promotes from within the unit that comes outside to go up to like sheriff, under sheriff, captain, lieutenant position outside the unit, they actually drop their multiplier. So it's actually when they go up, it actually decreases their multiplier they've had. So what we're looking to do is just have something in there where they would keep whatever their multiplyer's been when they've been with the county, as long as they're an employee currently at the sheriff's office, to carry on with it.
It's as simple as it gets.
That's about as easy as I could say it, if that makes sense. Is that good? Does that answer your
In a
question?
nutshell, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sheriff. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Number 2, $40,000 budget adjustment for medical and treatment costs of one inmate.
So moved.
Support.
Is there any discussion?
So from what I understand, this is a pass-through that we pay upfront and then we get reimbursed from insurance, maybe?
Sheriff, do you want to? Or Tiffany?
Or I should say it was a misbilling.
Pardon me?
We got misbilled for it, I guess.
Yeah, there's an error in the billing procedure through McLaren. It was an inpatient process that Medicaid's going to take care of. However, Blue Cross Blue Shield paid for it, and we're in the process of communicating with them to get reimbursed for the amount that we already paid.
So we got reimbursed then.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's what we've been told.
Okay, anyone else? Thanks, Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. The Juvenile Home Director, budget adjustment for $20,000.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. The Health Officer, Regional Perennial Quality Initiative Agreement with Saginaw County Community Mental Health Authority for the year 2024.
Motion approved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. The Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, Medical Marijuana Operation and Oversight Grant for 2024.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Community Health Assessment for 2024.
Motion approved.
Support.
Any discussion? Yes.
Maybe Joel wants to talk about it a little bit. I think we're going to use some of this health assessment in our opioid study, do some opioid studies also to see where some of the funding might be wanting to go to.
Yes, so we have traditionally conducted a community health assessment for Bay County in a time span about every 3 years, and that was interrupted by the pandemic. And so it's time to do that again. We need to take a look at all of our morbidity and mortality issues and factors that are affecting the health and well-being of people in Bay County. in regards to the needs assessment for the opioid funds, we've already began that, actually, and we've started to look at some of the hard data out there that's currently available from state and our local sources, but we've also started to do key informant interviews as well. So that will help us illuminate some of the issues that need to be addressed with those funds and those resources, and we hope to have that to you by March.
Yeah, then we plan to start doling out the resources under the funds. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, say none, motion carries. The Animal Services, MDARD Welfare Grant.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. Corporation Counsel, renewal of the property and liability insurance with Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority for 2024.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. Financial Officer, analysis of the general fund equity of 2023.
Motion received.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. Update regarding Executive Directive 2007-11.
Motion received.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. Purchasing, award of fire panel replacement for county building and law enforcement facility.
Support.
Is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. Information Systems, agreement with BMC Track It.
So moved.
Support.
Is there any discussions? Yes.
Julie's here. so-
Julie's here, yeah.
Just had a question about what we're tracking. Yeah, what we're tracking.
So that's actually our help desk system. So anytime someone has an issue or request, we track their work orders and tickets, and also tracks our assets as far as computers and network equipment as well.
Thank you. Yep, sounds good.
Thank you, Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. The Payables, general, everybody's got those. And the Board of Commissioners, 2024 Bay County budget. Yes. Yeah. We got to move and support that? Yes. Is there a motion for the Payables?
I'll move it.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, see none, motion carries. Now, the Board of Commissioners, 2024 Bay County budget.
Motion approved.
Support.
This is to refer to the next week's board meeting. Yes, Commissioner?
I'd like to know if is there money in there for Bangor Township to dredge the river? Is there, so who, would I ask the finance director, is money in there to dredge the river?
Yes, there's a $250,000 allocation to the road commission.
Oh, okay, thank you. So I'd like to see it removed, when we gave them $350,000 not too long ago, it was kind of understood that they would have to come up with do some of the work on their own. They have managed to give themselves raises in the last year, which is, doesn't seem like it'd be, if you're trying to save money and do things right, why would you give everybody who work, not just people who work there, but the supervisor and the treasurer, they all got nice raises, more than anybody else around here got. So basically, if this is staying in, then I'm against this budget. That's my thought.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes?
Okay,
Colleen.
so I also don't agree with the $250,000 being in there. At the last meeting that was discussed, I was very adamant that the 350 was the max that I would approve at that point. And the thing that upsets me the most about this is I was at the township meeting, you were there, Mr. Menajek, and Glenn Rowley made it public announcement that the county board was giving $600,000 for the dredging. I almost fell off my chair, was waiting for you to say something, which you did not. And I just think overall within the county, the sheriff's department has taken huge hits. And that's public safety, that's the whole community. The Division on Aging has given up. Every single department has made a cut. And Bangor and the neighboring townships that the river is involved with, none of them have any skin in the game. So that's my point here. I don't like how it was presented. I don't like that it was like put in there and then announced before we even knew it was there. So, no, I don't approve it, and I won't approve the budget with that in it.
And I agree with that as well. Back in May, we did approve granting the $350,000 with the understanding that Bangor would not ask us for any more money.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I made this point before that it's up to that point, they had received almost $1.5 million between marijuana money and ARPA money, and we still getting $350,000. And they got another check be coming up here for it with marijuana money pretty soon. They're not allocating, well, I don't know what they're doing. You know, that'd be like $2 million, and if they can't come up with $250,000 out of $2 million, there's a problem there, you know, and we can't solve their problem for them. And I don't plan on being part of that.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Commissioner.
So I'm on the agenda with Monitor Township Monday to present, you know, a request from them for funding. They have some ARPA money left over. I think some of the other townships have some ARPA money left over, so I would hope to have a commitment from them by next Tuesday from at least Monitor Township, and we're working on the other townships involved. I agree there should be some skin in the game from them also, and hopefully we can have a commitment. The money is not payable till next year. The Corps of Engineers is, you know, far from starting on the project, so it's not that we're paying it right now. It is a $500,000 we're throwing away if we don't do it. So our relation with the Corps could be damaged, maybe not, you know, turning down their request. So I'm hoping we can find agreement on this and get some commitment out of the townships before the meeting next Tuesday. So we'll bring it back.
Thank you. Yes, Jim.
I'd have a hard time approving the budget without the money in it. We've publicly, Bay County has come out the last 3 years, basically, and also I and then commissioners committed to the Corps of Engineers that we would help solve this perennial flooding problem. Now, Colleen, I don't know the exact boundaries of your district, but I do know you probably had a significant number of residents with flooded basements, massive property damage to their homes and businesses. We set up an office we took the lead on that with FEMA, and Ryan Manns will be here Tuesday to discuss, you know, the impact when we have a massive flood like this. In my State of the Community address 2-3 years ago, we used the photo of Castaways. I know you're familiar with the Castaways restaurant, right? Yeah, surrounded by water. And the sheriff and the undersheriff, their staff was out saving lives at Winona Beach Park. I know it's not your district, but I'm the county executive for the entire county, not just specific Democratic districts or Republican districts. So I'm the one that gets informed when someone goes to the hospital for nearly drowning. We had, 3 homes fall into the Tebow drain. You know, it's emotionally wrought for those people to experience that. Also, they suffer, even with the FEMA grants, they still took massive financial hits. And the Colquhoun River is also a county drain. About over 50%, but less than 2/3 of the landmass of Bay County is served by the Colquhoun watershed. And I know that, I'm not sure about you, I know Casey and Tom don't have any constituents that were impacted. They're primarily in the city and the other townships. But I can tell you, the Corps will not be pleased if we don't move on this. I know I've talked with staff, and they said they wouldn't retaliate against Bay County. I served in Congress on the Water Resources and Environment Subcommittee, and I tell you, the Corps of Engineers will. They're a very political agency, and when a community won't lift a finger to help itself, they're going to be unresponsive when we have Bay County residents' lives in jeopardy and massive property damage being sustained. It's mostly Kathy's and Tim's district. I don't know how much about yours, and I know Casey. I never try to pressure a commissioner how to vote. You have to vote your conscience. But I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before we have more flooding. It's about every 3-4 years, and it's something that we can address. One of the things that I've been working with is the new leadership of the Bay County Soil Conservation District. A longtime employee retired after 40 years, and that organization collapsed. They implement filter strips, and if we do that, we can reduce some of the sedimentation from coming off the farmland and agricultural lands, basically north of Calcallan, on the line north of Calcallan, which contributes a lot of sediment that goes into the river, which is a county drain, and then plugs up basically the mouth of the river. And I don't know if, I know the sheriff used the MRAP vehicle to save lives out at the Winona Beach, and I know that's not your district, that'd be yours, right? Mm-hmm. But still, they're Bay County residents. And I'll just remind you, too, that when the Winona Hotel, and a lot of you probably don't remember that, Tom, you would, Winona Hotel caught fire, and we had casualties and fatalities in that fire. And it was amazing how people from the Bangor Township Fire Department, Monitor Township Fire Department, and even Little Frankenless Township Fire Department all sent mutual aid to help save those people at the Winona Hotel when that became engulfed in flames. And we had a lot of people. I know you have to vote your districts, but I hope you understand, my district is all of Bay County. All of the residents are my constituents. I don't have a little slice. So I am concerned, and it would be nice. How much skin would you like in the game? How many hundreds of thousands? Do you have a figure?
They didn't come anything up with the 250.
I know, but-
And Rowley was here. He knew. That was it. And nothing was done. And the fact, I guess, let's hope it's okay I'm going on like this. But the fact that nothing was brought to any of our attention until it was in this budget that came out. There was no discussion. The other thing was, during these finance meetings, prior to us receiving the budget, we never saw minutes of any meeting. We got a sheet at the very end that said they had all these meetings, but nobody said anything. I talked to Vaughn in the parking lot once. I talked to Tim in the parking lot once, and Vaughn one other time. Yeah. Other than that, there was no information about this, and that's what irks me. That's really what irks me. I've lived on the bay. It's all part of living on the water. You're going to get flooded. There it is. I've been stuck in the mouth of the Calcallan River on our boat. I mean, it's all part of it. It's what happens. They've had assessments in the past on the river. So why is there no skin in the game of the people who live there? I mean, I sell houses every day to people who have to buy flood insurance. It's all a part of being on the river. So I guess that they...
That's only a fraction, Colleen, of the people who are impacted.
I get that.
A few hundred.
I've been receiving calls, kind of threatening calls, quite frankly, about the upcoming election, where I'm going to, what's going to happen if I don't support this. That is BS. I'm doing what is for everybody in the community. And if you're upfront about it and you don't have to just put it in there and not let us know anything until we get these papers, that's what irks me. That's really what irks me. Okay?
Well, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I would think the other commissioners have been aware of this. It's been discussed for more than 3 years. regularly. Every time I'm on Art Lewis on WSGW, it's a popular topic. It's been in every State of the Community address. We've discussed it ad infinitum in these board meetings.
We have not discussed giving them $600,000. We discussed giving them $350,000.
That was the first installment.
Oh, my gosh, Jim. Okay, well.
Well,
yeah.
350,000, same as giving them nothing, because it's got to be a 50-50 match. So you could give them 400,000, still, it isn't,
You
it is
don't-
not a 50-50 match.
So we don't think
It's gotta
any of
equate
the
with their-
townships that this waterway is in deserves to pay anything towards it? That we should fit the whole 600,000?
Well, we received $20 million in ARP funding that helped our financial situation. I think the townships received a few thousand.
Well, when you get people within the township or within the county calling you and saying, you know, I've taken this big hit in my department, why do I have to take this big hit? And you're giving them $250,000. You know, it's not.
I'm not aware of any in our budget, any departments that took a hit of any kind. Our budget is more
Nobody's
this year
budget
than
was
last year.
cut. I mean, I'm not here to confront you
Yeah.
back and forth. I'm just saying, my point of view is, when we had the last discussion about this budget item, which was months ago, at that meeting, we said 350. Rowley was here, and he was going to come up with some other funding source. And that 250 has not been talked about as a funding source. Where is this coming from? Until recently here.
May I butt in a little bit right here where you're talking?
Sure.
Since you've been talking about Rowley and all that stuff, I disagree with you, because he is working on the budget this year, and they're trying to find some money for the river.
Good.
Bangor Township has got a very tight budget. Their fire department is 52% of their budget, okay? They're trying to find some money. Most of the ARPA money they use is already spent on lead line replacements and all the other stuff, all right? Just let me finish here.
I'm not saying anything.
In the meantime, monitor, we talked to Terry. He's working on something maybe next week. I'm already talking to Cullen Township
Okay.
about their piece. And by the way, but the Bangor Township residents, yes, we were assessed back in 2002, and I agree with that. But why does the Cullen River residents have to have a special assessment for the drain, for all the drains that come into my district? It's not my fault all the drains go up in my district. So why are you saying that people in Bangor who live on the river and all that around there pay a special assessment? Is it our fault that the drains lead in front of our houses? I'm just asking, Colleen, go ahead.
It's not your fault.
Well, then the way you're talking about it,
No,
it seems
I'm
like
just
we should
saying,
be spending more money.
You live on the river,
No,
you live
let
on
me
the
finish.
water,
Hey,
you're going to have,
let me finish.
well, you asked me a question.
Well, I want to
Okay.
respond to this. So the way you're talking, you're telling us that you want us to pay all this special assessment in Bangor, Monitor, and Cullen, all right? This is what you just said earlier.
I said the townships that border this riverway
Should pay.
should pay. Kathy, is there not something in your district that they're assessed for this flooding problem? Isn't there something in your district that they're paying assessments?
Well, gotta
Yes,
assess on
there
the
is.
drains.
There are the
Drains.
drains.
On the drains.
Okay,
the
for flooding,
drains.
for flooding, correct.
It's the
correct.
drains in the
So
township.
it's,
Every district has a drain assessment. If you talk to our drain commissioner, everyone's assessed. Bangor Township's got $300,000 or $400,000 they pay for drain assessments,
Now,
for the drain maintenance.
I think when
Okay.
Rivet was the supervisor in Bangor Township, there was a dredging project done at no cost, is that correct?
That was from the Corps of Engineers. Jim, could you?
Do you
go ahead.
remember that at
You
all?
know about that one.
I secured.
Do you remember that?
I secured $168,000 for that minimal dredging from Congress.
From,
It was a line item in the federal budget. It wasn't,
it was in the budget
it was
for the
not a
federal
Corps of
government.
Engineers match.
Right, it wasn't the county budget.
No,
Okay, okay,
no, it wasn't the county. no.
okay, all right.
But that 1.5 million, and I agree with that. Our Senator, Debbie Stabenow, earmarked that for us. Okay, she was the chair of the Agricultural Committee. She's the one who brought that. In the meantime, since she's been there, we've had filter strips put in, sediment traps in the river to collect all the debris from coming out to the mouth. Okay? Every year it gets worse and worse and worse. All this money we're getting in from the Corps of Engineers and from the DNR and from all the other federal agencies, it's helping out a lot. Okay?
I feel like I'm being singled out on this because I have a small portion of my district that's in Bangor Township. And I don't think that's fair here. I
Okay,
mean,
fine.
it's a problem that's not going away. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Yes, Commissioner.
It'd be simple if he just like, he bonded it out and used this marijuana money that he gets the 600 grand. I mean, when we use our marijuana money, we thought we were going to get, we budgeted like 700,000, we got 1.3 million. I don't know what he budgets out on it, but why doesn't he just use some of that? You know, why would you include that as part of your budget when you don't even know how much you're going to get? So obviously, it's there. I just can't believe that they keep books like they do. You know, we worked very hard the last 10 or 12 years. Every commissioner, me and Vaughn have been here the longest now, but, you know, our budget's always been pretty good. You know, they've always been right where they should be. And we worked hard to make sure there's nothing frivolous in it at all. There's nothing like this ever in there, I can tell you that. But I can't, after we all said, no, 350, that's our number. And he said, yeah, they could work with it, they could find the other 250. And then all of a sudden, like 2 months ago, it's like, no, we can't find 250. And so I agree with, no, find it. You know, that's your deal. You're the supervisor, you find the money. That's all you know, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Those people I told you before, the people on some of those drains out there by Midland, those farmers got assessed. They got assessed when they say, hey, we're going to improve the drain here, so they get assessed. They got like a 10-year assessment, a 20-year assessment to improve their drains. They just get the bill. Here it is, pay it, and they just pay it. You know, everybody who lives on the river knows that. People I talked to on the river said, I get it. You know, that would pay. And those are people in Bangor Township that I just know. You know, it doesn't matter if they're Democrats or Republicans. It doesn't matter who. They're just people. They understand that's part of the deal. You know, they want to use the waterway, and they do. And they would take an assessment, but. For us, for every time it's going to come back again, they'll come back in so many years and say, yeah, we don't have any money again because things are tough now. We need to get it dredged again, and there's no money. Bay County, are you going to step up and fund this thing again? So then you go, well, we did it before, are we going to do it again? So, you know, I don't imagine, like I said, the old guys might not be around anymore, but but they're going to come back and ask again. It doesn't matter. It's just what human nature does after a while. Once you get it once, you're going to want it again. So I don't see it. I'm not, you know, I talk to people, like I said, I'm way out there in Franklin, Leicester, I'm way out there in Portsmouth. And I don't even have to tell you what they think. You know what they think already. Why are you doing this? That's the guy. Why? And I can't answer that question. I don't know why. Because I said, but I'll do what you want me to do. And that's what I'm doing right now. So either we got to figure this out. Do you think we could table this thing, or we can move on, or you can vote on it now, but let's do something with it right now.
So Chair, it's just to move it to the next week.
We're gonna vote to refer this to the next board meeting, which is next Tuesday. So do I hear a motion?
Motion to refer.
Support.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none. It gets referred to the next Tuesday's board meeting. Okay, is there any referrals? Unfinished business? Any new business? Closed session. Amber, is there a need for the closed session? Any miscellaneous? Announcements? This one.
This Thursday is Pearl Harbor Day. I don't know how many years, it's been quite a few. So there's a ceremony out front at 4 o'clock. That'll be the full color guard. There'll be a 21-gun salute. There's an email coming out from Mark to be, if you're in the county building, that there'll be some gunfire outside. Not be too worried. 4 o'clock. So, but you're welcome to attend. They'll be out front. There'll be a color guard. There'll be a presentation. So everybody's welcome to attend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, do you have any announcements?
I got nothing, man.
That's you.
It's all good.
Dennis?
Whitey.
No, I've got nothing.
No, adjournment?
Oh! Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.